Welcome to another episode of the For the Culture Podcast, soccer podcast for us, by us, talking about the intersection of Black culture and soccer. Got your boy here, Grego here. Got the light skin patrol all around me this week. We got Silves, Sky, Coach Tony. I said it's just the light skin block. It's the off-week block.
Hey, bro. Listen here. I got my Albie Shore. Look at what's going on.
I don't know if you happen to watch the Club World Cup final with Palmeiras and Chelsea, but like y'all might have found your home in Palmeiras because that fan base is awfully awful.
Yeah, they're like, and it's hard to be. I say this as a Chelsea fan. It's probably pretty hard to be lighter than Chelsea fans, but they seem to have managed to do it.
Like they got that tinge of coffee to that cream. That tinge of coffee to that
it's
cream.
All cream. Drop of coffee. Cream.
It's mayo. That's vanilla mayo.
Oh God.
I mean, you have a head coach now in Mike McDaniel. Like I said, like the team is forming up.
Are we talking about that?
Awfully human. I'm a human.
White Mike, my lord. All right.
Oh my God, are you interviewing for the head coach of the Miami job?
I'm too dark. I'm too dark.
Like
y'all got a shot.
He gotta show us.
Well, he has to, because if he's as dark as me,
you gotta show you. You can't say that.
If he's as dark as me, we're gonna have to have a conversation. It's like, that's like the whole logic behind it. Because like, of course, we had that conversation, and I'm like, if you ever like, I actually saw a picture of him as a ball boy for the Broncos, and I told y'all back when the announcement first happened, like he looks like him and Kristen Press could be cousins. And I'm like, I saw without
Kristen
all the
Press is the bougie light skinned cousin that you don't hate.
I'm about to say, hey, you watch your mouth. You talking about Kristen Press?
Cool.
Watch your mouth.
I know it's your girl.
Tread lightly.
I say that from love.
Tread lightly. Greg, I'm gonna say tread
I'm saying
lightly.
she's the one you get along with, like you take her to do hood shit. But like,
okay, all right.
She's a little bougie.
As long as she doesn't end up like what's her name is Snowfall, then we could.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Damn, I'm getting dark for that one.
I know, right? Oh
I
man!
can't wait till the next season of Snowfall.
No, man, I got a kid. I got a Kristen Press kid, so I'm rocking tomorrow. You know that.
Hey man, they look like they had the old boy. He was like, "No, I'm human," and then he looked.
I was like, "Oh,
I'm a human being whose dad is black." I was like,
so what is your daddy? Is your daddy like an alien? Is he Jar Jar Binks?
Right, like
what's that? Like where's your daddy then? Like, your daddy's not human then.
Who your daddy,
based
son?
on that logic.
I need to see your daddy.
No. Hold on. Speaking of logic, because like I saw this.
Oh, your
last
nonsense
week.
that you posted.
Yes, the evolution. Squints from the Sandlot to Logic to head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Like it's all right there. Like we did not know that Squints was black.
Now the first two accept their blackness, where old boy he like, "Nah, I'm human."
Wait, Squints ain't black.
Hey, but they all look alike.
Yeah,
he does. Look at it. Like look at them side by side. You're like, oh my god, like we didn't know.
We a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
That's why we like a spectrum.
Recognize the spectrum. Say not everybody is the same shade. Like that's why, like when people say that we all look alike, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Not even in our own families.
Heck, even on my own body, my arm is one color from a face. I'm up here with my Casper.
Hey, show that arm again. Let's see that ass show up again. Let's see that.
That's no ass. Don't do that.
You're not embarrassing me. No.
That's light skin. Don't do that.
Look at that. Look at that.
I got on
look at that Arsenal though behind you though. Look at that Arsenal. I see
a lot of FTC
gear
from Flies.
Yes,
I don't know, but I'm just seeing like a lot of yellow just flashing in front of my screen. I feel like there's some caution lights going on. Is this an Amber Alert? Is this an Amber Alert with all that yellow? Did my phone just go off, yo? Wow. I love you. It's all love. It's all love.
It is all love.
The same damn complexion. You just got better like it's fine.
I just got
it's still all black everything. It just comes in different shades.
Exactly.
Now, if you shave off the beard, is it like two-tone?
Yo, when I shave the beard,
do you look like Kevin on stage in that picture?
Yes. Yes. Because like of all the roasting that happened last week,
Melissa was letting that happen.
Of all the roasting that happened last week, I was like, hold up, like if I had a picture of Tony without his beard, because like every so often, like he's actually brave enough to
every now and then.
Yeah, he'll be brave enough to do it. I'm like,
that's what you do. Better one than me. Grow one though, like he can grow it back.
Yes,
I look 12 years old. First of all,
I believe it.
And then everybody.
There's no way your boys take you seriously. If you
the weirdest thing, the thing that hurts my heart is when my daughter looks at me like,
ugh.
Who are you?
Yo, let me tell you, my dad had to shave his beard off.
Like, you not my daddy.
He had to shave it for work once, and he didn't tell us. He just came home. My sister and I were like, "Oh no, you can't do that." We were literally like, "You can't do that anymore."
But it's I'm uncomfortable. I can't remember the comedian and Kev was talking about last weekend. I referenced it, but like whoever made that comment is like, "Yo, I don't trust anybody without no mustache." And he's like, "Yo, where's your stash at?"
Yeah, it's
like
there's only one person I can say I trust without a mustache, and that's Obama. That's really it. Like I can't think of any other black person.
I just feel like he struggles to grow facial hair.
No, I think that if he allowed himself to, it actually will be pretty great. I think it will. Okay. But we do have.
You think it's gonna be like he's gonna have that Morgan Freeman rough looking beard?
The salt and pepper.
No,
I think you got the salt and pepper. It's the smooth.
Yeah, salt and pepper. Like I said, just like it's probably like real. It's almost like it's been pressed.
First of all, is it his choice or is it Michelle's choice?
Right.
No, it's the government's choice. It's the government's choice.
Yeah, he's still a former president. I don't know what the cutoff is when you can start growing in facial hair.
Right. Like hold on, player.
When do you say F as a president? Just like
I think it's doesn't like the 10-year mark when you don't have Secret Service anymore. Maybe that's the time.
No, they had that for life.
They have for life.
Secret Service is for life.
For life.
Yeah. Kids don't, because Sasha out here. Sasha
they still get the security briefings. They still get all that. Like it's
it
doesn't really stop.
I taught Jimmy Carter's grandkids, and Jimmy Carter came to the class, and them Secret Services are around. So
Sonia Sotomayor spoke at our school, and I was like, you couldn't get so close. Like I was like, nope. They moved anytime she moved, she came off the stage. They all moved. I was like, oh no, I don't want any parts of that. I'm good.
But yeah,
hey,
man.
Speaking of Secret Service, I mean, shout out to Kendrick Lamar and his little, pulling out the Public Enemy style, like
I was so hyped when I heard him in Pyros. I was like,
we gonna talk about that.
The kids in my house were like, "What's happening?" I was like, "Leave me be."
We're gonna have a good conversation about that.
I hit that thing hard. Almost pulled a muscle because the way my knees are set up.
Yo, I had my daughter in my lap while we were watching it, and I was just like, "What?"
She was like, "Why are we doing this?"
She's like, "What are you doing, Daddy?" I was like, "Baby girl, this song hit. It slaps."
It's real music. It's real music.
It slaps.
Y'all know nothing about that boy.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Baby girl, you gonna rock with me on this one?" Yeah.
Well, they know who Mary J. Blige is, and they know who Snoop is. So I feel
trust me. We're gonna have a whole conversation about that and put you down. But that whole halftime was a whole moment. So yeah, we gotta get that with some time. But yeah, we do have a special guest this week. Someone that actually Tony has not been on the show in quite some time, but is finally back on. Set us up. Who we got this week?
So we got someone who's near and dear to the podcast. She's almost a sister to me, and she's someone who is making she's a trailblazer within the soccer community, not just the black soccer community, but just the soccer community as a whole. It's none other than Nicole Hercules, who runs the whole Black Advocacy group within United Soccer Coaches, but she's a beast. She's representing NY, not the city, but I'll let her talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me laugh. Oh,
I'm just saying, down below,
I appreciate it. That was a great intro. I appreciate that, Tony. You know it's all good for my brothers and now my sisters that I'm meeting here now. It's always love.
Yeah. It's been a good minute. We're glad to have you back on. How things been going?
Man, we've been staying busy. You know, it's been a lot of work that we have to do when it comes to addressing issues with being Black in the soccer landscape. And we're not gonna stop. We're not gonna put the pedal down. So we've been doing work. You know, we've literally got on the ground. We've had conversations with folks from the grassroots landscape all the way up to the professional landscape. We have influential Black coaches and Black folks in really important positions, and we're just looking to get that synergy and make sure that folks realize that it's got to be for the culture first and always.
See what you did there.
You see that? It's always for the culture.
Hey man, you better slam that, bro. That was you better slam that.
But we're just coming off of the yearly convention. This year was in Kansas City, and we're going to talk about that in just a few. Like honestly, I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but then Kylian and Mbappe gave me some good stuff to talk about today, and I was like, man, I think
next year will be for us. It will be for us next year. That's all I keep thinking.
Like
That's why
the fact that they could even get to this point where it's like he just about to just go ahead and walk over to Real Madrid for the free, and in the 93rd minute, I was like, oh my god, like.
He's so good.
I'm so happy. I happened to be in front of my computer watching the game at that moment. I was like, oh, but that's just real.
Can I tell y'all something? I knew Messi was gonna miss that PK. I said that should have been Mbappe's. I knew it before he stepped up. I was like, if Messi takes that PK, he's gonna miss it because it should have been Mbappe who was working his tail off that whole game, playing by himself half the time. And as soon as I saw Messi step up, I said, "You're gonna miss that."
Yeah,
you know, Messi ain't been Messi like most of this year. Like it's been like so hit or miss, and in a lot of ways, it's like Mr. Seven at Telenovela, but it's like you have that's the crazy part. I'm like he still scores, people still fuss. It's just and the Telenovela keeps on going, but yeah, it's
as long as he's moving units, as long as he's moving kits.
They don't care.
That's all that
matters. They say, hey, you spend our money.
Brand.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
But yeah, like the Champions League knockout stages just kicked back off today. Again, the first two games that happened on the first legs were PSG and Real Madrid, and also Sporting Lisbon and Man City. Don't really have too much to say about the Sporting City game because, City just put their foot in that ass. Like that's really all you can really say.
All the way off.
They put 5 feet in that ass.
We say this every year. Is this the year?
Man, listen, that can happen. I'll say this. If there was any year, it probably would be this year because the way the things have gone upside down this year in sports. I'm gonna be like, it probably would happen this year, but it just can't.
So how emotional are y'all gonna be if they win?
Who, City? I'd rather they
because
not.
I'm a free agent. I'm on a higher plane.
I'd rather they not.
Issues.
Like who do you normally watch in Europe, Nicole?
I'm an Arsenal fan, but to be honest, guys, I have not been able to watch. I have not been able to.
Well, hey,
you sound like Tony, so trust me, I get it.
I have not been able to watch. I can't do it. Can't do it to myself.
I mean, right now things are okay. Things are at least looking positive.
Top 4, maybe.
Yeah.
I want to turn my screen off right now. I don't even want to talk about it, guys. I really don't.
I mean, technically the women are still in first, so that makes you feel better.
There we go.
Yeah. Because the women just played Chelsea this weekend, right? This past weekend, right?
Yeah, it's a draw.
What happened? They drew.
Well, we're not gonna talk about the handball? Oh, okay.
That wasn't that. It's so just Carter.
Don't lie. Do not lie. That was a blatant handball.
Okay, there was plenty of missed opportunities. Y'all was all
jumped
emotional.
Up to hit that with her hand.
I gotta hear this all week. Emotional.
Yes.
Emotional.
Because it was a bad call. Twice.
Oh God.
Both games.
Oh yeah, you're a Chelsea fan. That's right.
Yeah.
And are you?
Both games we got screwed. I'm so bad.
I am on a higher plane.
Okay,
love teams from a distance.
United hurt her too much.
She's our free agent FC. Free agent.
I'm free
That's what
agent,
happened.
except for Angel City. I'm free agent.
Oh my god.
And Atlanta Falcons fan. Only one team can hurt me.
Well, they have, so there you go.
Oh, they keep on hurting you, but no, like
That's
so,
all they
like,
do.
yeah. Let's just do like a quick little rundown as far as like what's coming up with the Champions League knockout matchups. Like I mentioned before, we got Sporting and City already played down the first leg. City broke 5 feet up in that ass, 5-0 away from home. PSG got the last minute win over Real Madrid, giving them a 1-0 lead going into the second leg. And then the other knockouts, we got Benfica and Ajax, Atletico Madrid and Telenovela United, Inter Milan and Liverpool,
Chelsea and Lille.
Yes, I see that. That actually might
and
be
then
interesting.
Bayern and Salzburg, right?
Bayern and Salzburg, and then also Villarreal and Juventus.
That's the one I couldn't remember. Thank you.
Yeah. I haven't had the picture up, so trust me, I get it. But
man,
I guess
got your boy.
What's up, Tony?
I got a question.
What's up?
So, what are y'all thoughts about the new way that Champions League is doing the no away goal situation? Are y'all for it or y'all against it?
I wasn't anti-away goal, but I do think
either.
it should have been nixed if they went into extra time. Like, I don't think it should count once you hit extra time because you don't get extra time in the first leg.
Right. Like that part makes sense.
Wait. Okay. All right.
So it can count in regulation because you always play regulation. Yeah.
Right. And the second leg, if it's tied up, then you go to extra time. And it's like you didn't have extra time in the first leg, so just be straight up like, okay, we're tied. It's basically like 0-0, and whoever wins in extra time wins.
So you like this rule? You're saying?
I'm not against it. I just like, was it really that necessary? Like I just
it's a difference maker, definitely, for sure. I mean
it definitely changed up the dynamic for sure. But I wasn't one of those that was like, oh my god, like we got to absolutely push it and change things.
I mean, I guess in theory,
the reason why I ask is because like it does make a difference scoring on the road in hostile environment.
Yeah,
right.
And I mean there is something to that to be there. I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie.
I loved it.
I liked it.
The fact that like if you're someone who scores away, that means something, and it almost like you're rewarded for doing well on harsh conditions, and especially like back in the day of the early Champions League, like when you're going. I mean, obviously I've been in my Turkey mode and focused on Turkey, and like if you go to Galatasaray and all that stuff, like those stadiums, there's you're literally going into hell, and it's for you to score in those situations that means something. So it should mean more than just like one goal type of thing. Like it should mean more like 2 type of thing. So absolutely. I mean I'm not a fan of it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I like the way of the way goals meaning more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly forgot it changed. I was
there you go.
Real Madrid
I mean, that means Sporting got a hope. They got a chance. It's not 10.
So you're saying there's a chance.
All the starters for City will be injured. That's about it. And they're about
to do Sporting like Club America did us. So like, you know what? Let's play the rookies. Like it ain't no big deal. Like just come down there, go to Strokers, and then come back home. It's all good.
This would have been a Ferran Torres game, but he ain't there no more. So. I
mean, everybody can't go to Manchester City. Everybody can't go. Sometimes it's just gotta be Strokers, and that'd be that.
Wow.
What does Magic City but Manchester look like? Good God. That seems sad. That seems sad. Sorry.
I mean, we'll get to that in a second. But like, I guess like out of the matchups that we have in this round, like which ones are y'all looking forward to right now?
I mean, today's was probably
that was the highlight game.
The highlight one. So Atleti and Telenovela is just, I don't know what to do with that.
Terrible.
I don't know which version of those teams are like Simeone ball versus God.
Rangnick and
the Ragnarok.
And our boy Ted Lasso. And our boy Ted Lasso.
They called him. I cannot believe they called that man Ted Lasso.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that real quick because
first of all, that is the man who coaches the Jets. That's the same person. That's Robert Saleh.
Yeah, so like the word out in the streets is that there's always been like kind of rumbles for a while that the first team isn't all that crazy about Chris Armas, the new assistant coach for Man United, who also is a stunt double for Robert Saleh, and yeah, like and the word that came out over the past weekend was that they have come to dub him Ted Lasso. Of course, for those of y'all that don't know, Ted Lasso is the popular TV show on Apple Plus about the American coach who came over to England to coach soccer, and of course, like the growing pains that came with that as he learned the game, and yeah, like of course, so like this is definitely not a compliment. In the I need my mornings. What was that? A biscuit that he always fixed.
Like I guess in Britain it's a biscuit cookie.
Yeah.
Biscuits with the boss. Biscuits with the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it definitely was not a compliment. And like I saw a very funny video about the Hooligans over the weekend. Like just like remember, Chris Armas is Puerto Rican and from New York. Like this could get real gully real fast if they really wanted to. And I'm just like, they should have. I don't know why they did this in the first place. I get it that Armas has a history with Rangnick, but I'm like, we didn't think he was good here, let alone good enough for Man United. So I don't understand that.
It's not a good year for American coaches abroad so far.
I mean, yeah, like I actually come to find out that apparently, because Jesse Marsch was also an assistant under Rangnick here at New York Red Bulls, but apparently they had a falling out, and that's why you don't see Marsch as a potential candidate to have been his assistant at Man United. But I'm like, that would have been a better fit because I'm like, at least people already know in Europe, like, okay, they know his name, they know his resume. It's like, even though things work out at Leipzig, I'm like, there's still been some success in Europe to where it's like we might be able to warm up to him in like maybe 5 years, maybe.
Do you think he stepped too high first? Like was there a sweet spot between Salzburg and Leipzig? I know it's the same system, but
I actually don't think so. I think like in Europe, it's just Salzburg and Leipzig. So pretty much like once you once you do your thing at Salzburg, it's like either you're going to go to Leipzig or you find out what other options out there. Remember before he took the Leipzig job, like apparently he was a candidate to go to Spurs. He turned that down. I think there was like one other job in England that I was looking at him, and he turned that down. And he almost turned down the Leipzig job because they were looking at other candidates. But yeah, like things just obviously went to shit pretty quickly. But I think that this would have been an opportunity for him had he been on good terms with Rangnick, where I could rebuild my resume off of this job, even though I probably won't get this job in particular. It's something that can lead to something decent, in the next summer, things like that. What are you thinking, Tony?
I'm thinking that he's effed.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna work out.
I think in Europe,
it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that he can succeed or win people over, or anyway. And especially at this point in juncture where Man United is, I mean, obviously, this is a club that everyone wants to be a part of, but at the same time, right now, it's like nobody wants to be a part of it because, like you said, the telenovela of it is it's a soap opera, and it's almost a no-win situation. And so, with that being said, it's a no-win situation. I'm sorry, it is. And as much as I love Man United, anybody that touches Man United within the next 3 years is not going to be a good situation. And it's still, I mean, we are, I hate to say it, we are the Dallas Cowboys of soccer.
Damn.
Dang.
It's good to do that point.
I hate to admit it, and I hate to say that because, you know, I've been supporting United since the mid-'90s, and it's just, you know, I've been through the glory days of it and seeing all this, and then for people to say that, like, oh, y'all, you know, you don't support them because they're like the Cowboys of soccer and blah, 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 this and that, whatever, or the Yankees of soccer. But for any American to be attached to it, too, I mean, you got to remember, people forget that Tim Howard was a goalkeeper for Man United.
Yeah.
You know, and those times when it wasn't a beautiful showcase, he had a horrible time at Man United.
Yeah.
But luckily he found his calling with Everton during those times. But with all that being said, it's a shit show. Plain and simple.
Now
it is.
That's why
I'm saying that as a fan and someone who's going to support it. I'm gonna support this shit show.
Yeah. Right now they're a lifestyle brand.
It's a shit show.
Why you being like that? Why you gotta be like that, Sils?
Am I wrong?
Is she wrong?
Them in Arsenal, like, you know, between the kits and the dope swag, it's like
They do have nice kids.
Yeah.
But
and we're not even talking about we glaze over the fact that the person almost bought his kit with his name on it.
Ooh,
yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
We haven't touched on that
yet.
yet.
Mason Green.
Neither has United, really.
Ooh, yeah. I
and
mean,
so like there is a soap opera to like every corner of that training space. I cannot imagine being a person who works there right now. I could not imagine. I got a lot of gray hair now with my youth aspect of this.
Right. And
you want me to deal with all these people?
He can't.
I mean, like,
because Rangnick's not going to coach. Like, he'll be maybe
Ragnarok. It's Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
It's Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
I mean, honestly, I think that the way things are looking, like, even if he was to manage to be cleared of all this, like, not only do I think his career at United is done, I think his career in England's done. Like, he's probably going to find if he is allowed to play, probably somewhere else outside of England. Like, that scrutiny that's going to come. You know how, like, a lot of people nowadays presume guilt before they go to trial. And it's like, yeah, like that stigma is going to remain on him probably regardless of the result. And you know, that's the unfortunate part in all this, because obviously you had a player who was very talented, and like I said, like you have this incident that's basically going to follow him wherever he goes. Like, he could probably be in Ukraine, and those two were like, yeah, he was that guy who did that thing. And
it's on camera though. That's
yeah.
Damn, you brought Ukraine. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're about to go to war and everything, but yeah, like,
and I was about to be real petty.
With him.
I'm about to be real petty. If he serves his time, at least he can come to the MLS.
Oh,
nah, I don't see it.
I'm saying legally.
Legally,
he has the option.
Legally, he can go to a whole lot of places.
Everybody has that option, is what I'm saying.
Legally, that's a whole different story.
In that same theater, what is Adrian Peterson doing? Like,
bro, what the heck? I just heard about that.
Man, a lot of people between the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl, a lot of people just got real crazy. You saw what happened with Alvin Kamara in Vegas. Like just that whole like like I feel like this particular weekend in general, as far as the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl stuff, there's probably gonna be a lot of stories that come out. They'd be like, "Yo, we didn't think that was gonna get out here like that," but. That's a whole different story. But
I was their agent. I've been like, sit your behind home for 2 weeks. We'll figure it out.
Stay in Iowa. Like don't go nowhere. Stay in Omaha, please. Like this. Do that.
Unless you in Tennessee, like my man Weston. You always
like that.
Because is there anything to do out in Omaha? Is there anything to do out in Omaha?
I mean, I live there, bro.
Yeah,
that's enough. And so you know.
Watch your mouth, bro.
You can get in trouble anywhere if you try hard enough.
Right, yeah, right.
This is true. You can find a way. And brothers will find a way.
Yeah. Look, our homie Weston. I love Weston, but look at the homie Weston. I'm like, how you
in Tennessee? You
nationally that far from Memphis, so it wasn't impossible. It wasn't impossible.
You can get you some things.
The streets were calling, man. It happens.
But no, I got a quick question for Nicole and Tony as the resident coaches here, because like, so like from what I've been told, typically it's the assistant coach that usually runs like the day-to-day practices. Is that correct?
Yeah. Typically, you will have like your sporting director, your assistant coach who does a lot of that.
Yeah, so like the dynamic with Armas, I'm like, yeah, like you're getting this guy on a daily basis, and they're over here.
I don't know if that's the case with Armas though. I don't know.
I would hope not. Because like from what the story has been said, like they're questioning his tactics, like he doesn't really know how to, like he's not up here as far as tactics, and they're like, we're based like I think that the play obviously reflects a lack of tactics and lack of any direction, and I'm like, they better cut this. They better cut bait on this before this gets too crazy.
Well, no, at least he coached before.
He coached, but it wasn't coached well. Like I mean, like he had the stay in our Red Bulls that didn't end too well. He lasted less than a year in Toronto, and like mind you, that was a team who had been to multiple MLS Cups the past few years, and they were like, you couldn't even last a year, and like you and you managed to luck up and have your old coach pull you out from the dirt and say, hey, come here and be my assistant at Man United, like one of the biggest clubs in the world. And for anyone who in Europe was like, who is this guy? Like, who is this? And they look at his CV and they're like, who this? Who this trying to tell me to press forward? Like they'd be like, nah, son, nah.
Do you think there's a scenario, and I'm talking the men's side, obviously, the women's side is a conversation too. Do you think there's a scenario where like an American coach goes to England, like Premier League, and comes in with that level of respect though? Because I feel like part of that is they don't respect the coaches. We're
a good ways away from that. I think when Bob Bradley tried it at Swansea a few years back, and he didn't even last a month. I think that was probably the closest that we'll get. Of course, you had David Wagner, who he's American, but he grew up in Germany, who lasted a couple of years. But
well, what about Jesse Marsch? Didn't Jesse Marsch had a good little run for a little bit, where I think he was even respected and embraced for a short while.
Yeah, I think that. I think what happened in Leipzig, because it was kind of weird because he was there for like a year as an assistant before he went over to Salzburg, and I would have thought that the perception wouldn't have been as bad, but it just felt like they didn't really believe in what he was bringing, and I think that I hopefully he stays out there. Like that's at least my hope. I think that
I don't think we're ever going to see anything in our lifetime.
But I think at best we might get something at a mid-table team, but like top six in any league. I think that ain't happening no time soon.
I don't think it's going to happen during our lifetime. I mean, because as as much as I love the Premier League and the drama of it and the entertainment of it and the teams and the talent and the competition and everything of that, I love it. But at the same time, there's colonial way of the Premier League that it just permeates throughout the soccer ethos in so many facets. And US is a byproduct of that. And Nicole can definitely attest to this, and myself, and just knowing within the coaching ranks that there's this automatic bias of if I were to go toe-to-toe with a coach and we have equal standards and we have equal accomplishments and equal everything, but if that coach has an English accent,
just like that.
Happens in the. I mean, you see what's happening in the women's game, right?
And
no business. They got no business.
I don't. I'm just saying that, and maybe it's a chip on my shoulder, but I don't see anything changing with in my lifetime.
Okay.
As Deion Cole said, I'm 40 years old. I got 30 summers left. I don't see anything changing.
It's going to take a long time. I think at best you get like a mid-table team, like what Jesse Marsch did at Leipzig. That might be like probably one of the best opportunities we probably ever get. And like I would rather just let's focus on the black coaches that are actually from Europe and try to get them hired, because the ones over here, white or black, it ain't happening.
I mean, Vieira is at Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah. He's actually managed to.
They're not bad.
Yeah, they're starting to pick up some good momentum there, but like as far as over here,
what's funny though, Greg, is that like we had a conversation with the Black and Asian minority, some folks from that group, and they were actually saying that they feel like it's better over in the States than it is for them in the UK, and that was shocking to me. That was absolutely shocking to me. I was like, what? Can you please tell me a little bit more? But, we're looking to have some type of a partnership with them and to work on some different initiatives to create opportunities and exchanges from the state, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take folks who are immersed in that community. That's why Jesse Marsch had some little bit of respect from the community, because he was immersed in it. He learned it. He learned the language. I think sometimes with the American ego, people just jump over there thinking everything's going to be smooth, but you really have to learn the lay of the land, put that time in, earn that respect before you can hop into those positions and think you're going to be successful. So I think it's going to take some of these young coaches who are willing to do the work, who are willing to learn. And I agree with Tony. I mean, I think it's tough though, because I think there's such. And you talk to the national team players, former national team players from the States who went over to play in the UK, and just how hard they had to work. Like Christian Pulisic has to go through it. All these guys who are overseas right now, that the idea of what it is to be American, playing, coaching, whatever it may be, even the owners, our owners are American owners are hated, So it's one of those things where we have to change that narrative. And I don't know. I don't know. I hope it does change in our lifetime, but I don't know.
It's difficult, and I think like you take the example of Jesse Marsch and Bob Bradley. Like Bob Bradley was coaching in the second division of France, and before he got hired over at Swansea, he was close to getting promoted to Ligue 1. And like even for coaching two national teams, trying to work his way up within Europe, they're like. Once he got over to the EPL, they were like, "Nah, we ain't doing this. Like, cut this real quick." And I think for over here, Bob Bradley's one of the most respected coaches out there. But like over there, like who this? Like that's the kind of disparity that you're working with. And next, that's a white dude. So like it probably even worse for an African American. Yeah, like. You'd be like, nah, I get this out of here. Like, but I can see where their respect was coming from, like where they might have it easier over here, because at the very least, we're at least somewhat open. It just we got to get a whole lot better, and we're going to talk about that in on the second half of the show. I'm going to recap the convention, and more with Nicole. We're going to take a quick break, get a word from my homies at 2 cents, and yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back. Y'all ain't gonna roast me today because I got my hat on. Tell y'all that real quick.
Right, nobody was gonna say anything.
I mean, I was only being honest, and y'all just took a moment of honesty, and y'all decided to just go ahead and just put me on the pit and just keep rotating me.
Hey, we gave you opportunity to be like, are you sure? That's big. That's a big hit.
You were on the show with a comedian. I don't know how you thought that was gonna go.
He wasn't even on yet. Like that was just them two.
That big.
Hey, y'all realize Grego got a street named after him in Detroit?
No.
By his headline, by his head size. It's called 8 Mile. Like it's 8 miles.
I was listening so intently too, like, oh,
I was ready. I knew a joke was coming, but I was like, this he's about to be
Grego's head is just 8 miles and going.
Man. Woo.
Y'all gonna leave me alone. Y'all gonna leave me alone. But
right there, 8 Mile.
But yes,
Wow.
we are joined by Nicole Hercules. Are you still the head of the black soccer coaches?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So what's been going on in the past year with that?
Yeah, we've had it. We actually celebrated our 25th anniversary at the convention this year. So we were in Kansas City. It was a great year. We had a lot of coaches who won, league championships, coaches of the year, just a record number. So it was really exciting to celebrate that, to come together with coaches from all the different, youth level, college level, professional level, to get everyone kind of, bring it. The United Soccer Coaches scarf,
Okay.
Tony.
All right.
Very nice. He's a part of the family. He knows the deal.
Yes.
But it's always a great time because we have over probably 1,000 coaches within our group. And when we come together, there's really nothing like it, especially when you're doing coaching education. There's advocacy. There's just our socials. It really is a great time. It's a great time for just that fellowship. It's that great time for just getting some insight, for working on different partnerships. So it's always a phenomenal time when we all get together. And next year we're going to be in Philadelphia. So we're looking forward to what that will potentially be. And you're asking about some of the things that we've done for the year. And I mean, we just finished with U.S. Youth Soccer. We were talking about really addressing some of the racial discrimination and different things that are happening in the soccer landscape from the youth grassroots level all the way up. We did a report with U.S. Youth Soccer that addressed all of the different racial discrimination issues that we're having. The first report that was done pretty much concluded that there's pretty much 98% of the executive directors in U.S. Youth Soccer are white. And that they weren't able to get all of the different, I want to say it was, there are 15 state associations that did not participate. But other than that, we're pretty clear on what the leadership looks like across the youth soccer landscape. So we're really looking for ways to start getting Black coaches and administrators in some leadership positions where they're becoming decision makers. So that report went in. That should be going to the board of directors. We should be hearing back from that soon. We've worked with MLS about addressing things. They formed their DEI group after a conversation that we had with the amazing Fred Lipka, who we also brought out to the convention to have a little closed meeting with some folks. So we're really looking to address the different issues that we have in the soccer landscape that plague our youth, our players, our coaches. The conversations are one thing, but we're really looking forward to seeing some policy that's put into place and things that are going to change the landscape for the good. So we have a lot more work to do because it's really been surface level, but we're getting the ball rolling and we're really happy with some of the conversations we've been having.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like I guess we're still technically within the pandemic, but of course I think things are getting somewhat close to normal. Like what were the biggest obstacles for coaches and players throughout of course this first period of the pandemic?
For coaching education, I mean, we couldn't do anything in person. So to do on-field training sessions and things like that, of course, that's a little tough. So a lot of things were done on Zoom. I think they were able to do a few. We did a session in Atlanta with a Nigerian group that was out there. So there were some in-person sessions, but the amount of them were just fewer than we're used to, just with how COVID's been going and things like that. So it's changed a few things. We found ways to kind of navigate that and figure out how that would work. But yeah, it's been tough.
You got any questions, Sylves?
I guess my biggest one is, since you're sort of in the trenches, and I know Tony is too, and particularly our focus is on the women's soccer side. But you mentioning youth, and I'm like, man, 98 seems small. Honestly.
98%, yeah.
98% seems like a small number compared to what we're seeing, as people rise higher. But like, we hear from parents of young Black girls playing and things like that. What are some of the things that we can do with the platform that we have to, I don't know, help change the conversation, reform, maybe we need to burn it down? Like, what are some of the immediate things that we can do?
As soon as you said that, the first thing that came to my mind was a story Thori Staples Bryan, former national team player, brought to me probably 6 months ago. And there was a young girl who was playing on a predominantly white team in the North Carolina area. And her parents just happened to not be there on that day. So there's certain things that we have to talk about and communicate, because when these situations happen, some people know how to deal with it. But because the girl had braids in her hair, the referee told her that she couldn't play because her hair was a weapon, was a deadly weapon, and could hurt people. So these are some of the conversations and the discriminations and things that happen with our young players. And that day, although that girl was the best player, she realized she was different. Everyone has that day where they recognize, okay, I'm Black. For that girl, it was that day. And she, to the point where she didn't want to play anymore because she realized that she was different. But we have to find ways to have these discussions so that coaches, referees, and all of these folks know that these things happen, and that it's unacceptable. It's part of the reason why we had that report written with U.S. Youth Soccer. We have folks with U.S. Club Soccer, and it's the basic things at the ground level that we're looking to address, along with even just like having a proper review board. When you have a Black coach who's in a predominantly white environment, and there's a racial situation that he goes through and doesn't have the proper support and backing, who does that coach report that to when you're afraid you may lose your job? And we've had folks who have lost their job when they've tried to confront many of the things that are happening. On the women's landscape, I will say, when I had a conversation with Kia McNeil and some other folks, and we've looked towards forming a Black Women's Association, is we need more Black female coaches. We need more representation. It's the numbers are horrendous. We have 3 Black female coaches in the NCAA. And when it comes to the conversation that we tried to have with, we talked to Tori Huster from the Women's Player Association when we were trying to work with some of the Black leadership, but there is none. We have Carla Thompson, who's now working with San Diego Wave. But when we're talking about diversity and representation at the professional level, the National Women's Soccer League, I think, is in last place.
Yeah. Wow. Like, I mean, we know those things, but even that story of like her braids are a weapon, even though at the top you see the crystals, the midgets, like people play with braids, like the disconnect is just very.
And I mean, I've had that happen just on my local team too, but I'm the coach. Do you see the difference? So and my kid's playing. So that's the difference.
Right.
That girl had to sit out. Jeez. So there's an awareness at a basic level that we have to work on just to make sure that there's a cultural sensitivity and awareness just across the entire soccer landscape. And it's decent coaches, right? They're not even like horrible people. They just don't know any better. You would think someone knows better, that you're talking as though this child is an object, as though she's not a human being, and not even recognizing the impact and the trauma that can cause a kid, because it's not something that you have to worry about. So not even like, we're just even talking just at the micro level. We're not even talking at the grand scheme of things. We're just talking at the really basic entry level of this game, some of the things that we're talking about. And you hear the Crystal Dunns and folks talking about it, but many of them just put their head down and did the work because they wanted to play, so.
Wow. Sorry, I'm processing. I guess my other ask would be then, in terms of the gross lack of representation of Black women in the coaching ranks, like what are some of the things then, or, if there is, say, a 20-something-year-old Black woman who's like, maybe I want to coach soccer, like, what are some of the things you would tell her?
Yeah, we have some great opportunities. And I think on all the different landscapes, from U.S. youth soccer to U.S. club soccer, some of the conversations that we had in the last month, even the last week, or how we're creating opportunities for this next generation of coaches. Carla Thompson and Jill Ellis created the She Mentors program. I know Kimberly Crabb has a scholarship that they put in her name for National Women's Soccer League players. So she's personally been selecting young Black girls who will get a scholarship to get their coaching education. So there are folks who are doing that work. But again, Carla was with the U.S. Soccer Federation and is now in the San Diego Wave. So who's the Black person who's going to take on that work? So it's
I know,
tough.
and I know a few players just got their license, right? Like I think Tony
just got her B, I think, right?
Yeah, she got her B. Was Darian in that group or is she in the next group? I think Darian and somebody else is in this
Darian
group.
and Shanae.
Brittany Cameron, I think, just got hers too. Yeah,
Shanae got hers as well. So
we'll see more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, can we? Because it's interesting because as I was getting my level 3 goalkeeper license the other day, or diploma, it's going to get harder. Like the fact that like the pandemic put that pause, and there's like this holding pattern, and there's also, it's interesting that I was speaking to a couple of instructors of licenses and everything like that, and they were saying that from the federation and from the higher ups of all the people who are making decisions that the decisions are going to be tougher now. Because a lot of people are saying like they don't want the licenses to be watered down. So what I mean by that is
I was like, please explain.
Yeah. Elaborate.
I clutched my pearls.
So what I mean by that is that, okay, so me, Tony, coach, let's say I just do the bare minimum of everything like that, and I'm able to get my quote unquote D license. And another coach who's been busting their butt and everything and doing all the P's and Q's and everything like that, they got their D license. So they're both like, okay, we both got our D license. So now we're both eligible to get our C license. Okay, so if we're going to get our C license and we're both eligible, before in the past, a lot of the key markers of letting people quote unquote pass get their C license, and they're saying that, okay, this dude or this girl, so and so, doesn't know the game, but yet still they got their C license. Yeah, still you got someone who is coaching professional. They know the game. They know X, Y, Z. They know how to do film. They know this and that or whatever. But you got someone who's just going by, just getting by, I should say, and they're getting their C license. And they're saying there is a worry about the watering down of licenses now. And so from what I've understood from instructors, that now that they're going to be a little bit stricter about that.
I wouldn't be oh, go ahead. Sorry, Tony.
Well, I just wonder. Sometimes I wonder. I'm like, shit. What is that going to do with us? You know what I mean? Like,
it's all about who you know, right? That's why, myself as the chair of the Black Soccer Coaches Association, that's why for 2 years, I made sure I was in a room having conversation with the folks that I had to create opportunities for. So if those are things that you're looking for, and we have to have conversations with folks who can get you and help mentor you, help you with the professional development, whatever it may be, we have literally created a pipeline. And then that's a huge part of the work that we've done in the last couple of years, where we have folks in literally at every sector of this sport. And we recognize that the work that we have to do is to work in synergy to create more opportunities. Because I'll tell you right now, we do have a lot, and the biggest thing for me this year is making sure that our database is as organized as possible so that we have a lot of these young coaches who are ready to seize these opportunities. And I will say, I love the programs that United Soccer Coaches has for career development. It's one of the things that they're really focused on. And especially with the new CEO, he's been calling regularly. And he really wants to create opportunities for Black coaches. It's part of that. We're doing a takeover of the United Soccer Coaches podcast. And, our 30 under 30 program is such a phenomenal program. And the beautiful thing about having our 25th anniversary this year is that we had all of these Black people in one room, successful coaches who are phenomenal, who've done their job. You notice I didn't say Black coaches. They're just damn good at what they do. And you have this young generation that's in this national office, and they looked at the wall, and you can look at the board of directors, and it's all, white people. And then you can see the fire in these folks that they want to take over. You have a group that's coming up that's ready. And we have opportunities that we've been creating where we're going to make opportunities for people who look just like us, and we're excited to do it. But we just definitely want everyone plugged in so we can work together. For fan supporter groups like yourselves, like I know you guys have been super supportive, but the more we can come together, there's power in the numbers that we have and in the relation. Everyone says there's 6 degrees of separation. I don't believe that. You can make one phone call and there's one person I could call who knows whoever I need to get to. And that's just because our network is that big. And I'm talking prime ministers, Queen of England, all that stuff. When your network is that big, sometimes you can get to folks. So we have folks who are ready to work together to create opportunities because we're not happy with the numbers. The fact that we're looking at the numbers for collegiate head coaches, male, female, what it looks like. And, we think it's like 13 Black coaches in NCAA in Division I. 3 Black females. We got Kia McNeil, we got Marsha Harper, we got Denisha Adams, and Denisha just got a position. So the numbers are horrible. They're not good. We're not happy with where they're at, but we are happy with what we're seeing with folks who are coming up, who are going to be top coaches because they have phenomenal examples of just the best coaches around.
Ooh, I got a question.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, you brought the collegiate aspect of everything. I'm interested in your opinion about the collegiate soccer role.
Okay.
Is it going to be significant 5 years, 10 years from now on as far as like the total soccer landscape? Because
men's and women's sides are completely different. So this answer is different. Yeah.
This is true. I mean, based on gender, there is a different answer for both aspects. But what is your opinion about how the college soccer landscape? Because obviously, you and I, we work in the youth landscape of soccer, and so much of it is focused about getting that, like quote unquote college scholarship. Mm-hmm. What do you see as the landscape within the next 5-10 years of the college soccer landscape?
I think everything that you're seeing from, and even the amount of semi-professional teams that we have in the different leagues, is there's an abundance of opportunities for our kids to be able to play the game. And so I even look at it from the collegiate aspect of it, or even youth soccer, because we have some kids who they're not even thinking about college soccer. They know they're going to go overseas, bypass the whole U.S. system, and go play for, my friend here is from the D.C. area. How many kids do we have from that PG County area who are bypassing the U.S. system? They don't want to necessarily play for D.C. United, but they're going overseas and playing immediately. So you'll have people who different things are going to work for different people. So I know on the men's side, a lot of people will say that the collegiate game doesn't really prepare someone to be a world-class player. But what I'm saying is, because I look at it from a more holistic standpoint, is it creates opportunities for all kids to think about what's best for them. Some kids are going to want to go to college. Some kids want to go to a pro. Some people have those connections where they can make that happen. On the women's side, I think it's very different. I think the collegiate game is still really good. You see international women coming over to play the collegiate game. So it's still something that it helps to build the game. And I remember when I played in Germany, there were so many young players who were like, "Can you help me get a scholarship here or there?" And like they're playing on it. They're playing on the national team. And I'm like, "You want me to help you what?" Like, you're good. It's like the opportunities to play in college in the States at that time where it was a big opportunity. So I look at it as it's just opportunity. So for some folks, some kids are going to play in college. Other kids are going to bypass that system because they can ball, and they can ball right now, and they can go straight to their professional career. I just see it as an abundance of resources. We have kids who have options, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that of course, I've made my feelings about men's college soccer clear in past episodes. Just I don't see like how the men can rely on college soccer to develop. Of course, there are some exceptions, but as things are developing at a much faster pace with the academies, it's getting to the point where it's like, if you do play college soccer, more than likely you're probably not planning on playing pro. There might be that opportunity, but it's probably not the main plan there. I go back to when we had Mariah Lee on the show a few weeks back, and like she was telling me that like when she was at Stanford, like it's more professional than a lot of the actual professional clubs. And I think that for the women's, like it's a totally different dynamic, and there's much greater opportunity as far as still developing your game on the women's side. Of course, I'd love to see that abundance reflect over on the pro side here, but no, that's still a work in progress. At least, like we're starting to finally see things moving in a positive direction, especially from everything that's happened in the past few years. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get to a point of where, if nothing else, at least while they're in school, they get some money and they make a good living from that. Did y'all Scott, do y'all have anything before we go into Twitter today?
I was gonna say, so as we have this shift, as the USSF has divorced itself from the NWSL and all hell is breaking loose, do we see the transformation happening on the women's side, where it is similar to the men, as the club becomes more important in a sense?
I think, and just because I know some of that, what was happening with some of the new hires, I think we will sooner than later see an increase in representation, just because I know folks who were contacted for different roles who turned it down because they think it's a hot mess. Well, they do, and for many people who are coaching at the collegiate ranks, like, is it the best investment to go and play in an unsure and uncertain National Women's Soccer League when, I mean, the collegiate game is so, I mean, you can get in a team and just be there forever and do well. But I will say that I have, just in the last 6 months or so, I've seen and I've heard that the National Women's Soccer League, as they're detached, are looking to increase representation for people of color. Of course, they want more female coaches. Of course, they want more American coaches, because even when it comes to gender, you just don't see many American women who are coaching. So, I mean, just seeing Amanda Cromwell get the Orlando Pride job and things like that. Of course, Casey Stoney, it's exciting to see her at the Wave, just because my homegirl Carla's over there too. But I think you will sooner than later start seeing some more diversity, just because I think they've been called out on it. It's the National Women's Soccer League's diversity numbers are horrendous, in my opinion. It's not good.
We are aware.
It's not good enough.
We've had to have those conversations. But even, I guess, and I know you said Black coaches over in Europe, I guess particularly England, have talked about how in some ways it's easier for them. But even at a pro level, it's only Hope Powell, right? Like, I can't even think of sort of top flight Black women coaching. She's the only one I can think of.
We had a conversation last week. I was talking to Kia McNeil, and we were trying to figure out at the convention, we were like, who was the first Black female head coach to ever coach this game? And we couldn't think of it. So we literally have people couldn't tell you. And the thing that really makes me upset about this, and Tony knows this, is that with a lot of the programs that exist to this day, many of them were created by Black women. When you think of I won't go there too much. I'll be very diplomatic. But when you think of because Tony knows, he knows I have a problem with something. But anyhow, when you think of a lot of the inner city soccer programs that have become nationwide, that was the idea of a Black woman, and that program was stolen from her. And we don't know her name. I mean,
it's the American tale, right? Like, seriously.
There's so many stories of that. So that actually had to be a real conversation that we had in a closed meeting that we had about the importance of autonomy. So I'm so happy to see, these Black owned programs like yourselves that you guys own and operate, and it's for the culture, where it's a safe space just to be Black, and it's not saying that assimilating, if that's the word, is a bad thing. It's just saying that sometimes our culture is too easily rented out. Sometimes we have Black folks who are just, They want a dollar so quickly that they don't want to build and create opportunities for their own. Where there's safe spaces where, you know, you have kids who can play in the right position. And other conversation that I have way too often that drives me crazy is you have players who are top number 10s, number 9s, number 7s who are converted to goalies or outside backs because they're so athletic and are top notch in every position.
So
some of
strong.
that, just so strong and fast.
Pace and power.
And athletic. And
they're slow. Like some of them are slow. Like what pace? What pace?
Well, and that's funny because you'll have some black players who will say that. They're like, well, what happens when you don't uphold that stereotype, but you're still an intelligent and smart player? Some folks aren't checking for you, and you can still play like a Xavi. You know, you can still play like a NES. That you have that quick mind and that the way to distribute.
Crystal Dunn's actually not that fast.
Really?
Comparatively, like. If I think of other players,
let me tell you something. When I saw her, what's her
fast,
name from France? And she's track fast. What's her name from France? George.
Gianni.
When those girls were running side to side, that's how I knew Crystal Dunn was fast. Because I'm like, that girl's not just that girl's track fast. She can probably go race against
track back.
The Jamaicans. The Jamaican
women's
national
team. On defense, she got recovery speed though. So like, I think her recovery speed. But our wingers are faster. Like I don't think. So. I'm sorry. I'm just like,
it's a lot, but these are the things that like I have to think about it. And Tony, you know, we're kind of in like that inner city space, and for me, we use the game to equal the playing field. I use the game to create opportunities for other, and we just have a great group of coaches and allies. So I think we often talk about just what we're doing within our space, but we have a lot of people who are. Sorry, I was trying to read this note that Tony just sent
I was
me.
quick. I didn't know I was fast. I was track speed, shouty. Don't get it twisted. Don't try me like that.
Sorry,
I was
I'm
track
sorry.
speed. I was cutting people out.
I'm sorry.
I was cutting people off. I was beat. You don't do me like that.
Sorry, I just saw
see that subtle roast. Like, see, I couldn't get all that last week, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but those are the things that, like, when it comes to the black soccer landscape, those are conversations that we have to have. The biases that some coaches have, and then we've had calls with, you know, over 70 college coaches at a time. We had a call with over 200 of the MLS Next coaches multiple times to have some of these conversations. And of course, we have people in place who have continued those kind of conversations. But they have to continue to be had because some people aren't even aware. When I tell you our soccer landscape, coaches within United Soccer Coaches, they're all cool. They're all good people, but sometimes they're just very unaware of the different racial instances, things that are happening in the landscape. So we have a lot of work to do, but the groundwork's been laid.
That's good. Right. That's definitely good to hear. And I'm hoping that it only continues to improve. I heard, like I said, next year's is in Philly. That's just up the road. You know, in case anyone needs to have some podcast hosts pull up, you know,
podcast row is a thing, Tony or Greg and Tony. There's podcast row. So and it's cool. So and
I'm interested to have a conversation about, you know, you all as Black women in coaching, like what you're trying to start. Like when you have some of that groundwork, we would love to.
The most important thing with that is just being able to locate where all the Black and Tony Lee was it Lee Jakes?
Lee Jakes. She
was at one of my sessions at the convention, and I shouted her out. I was like, "You don't even know that I know you, but I know you because your boy Tony is always shouting you."
Exactly.
So she was like, "What? How do you know who I am?" I'm like, "Yeah, Tony's out here advocating for women in the sport."
Absolutely.
So I'm recruiting her. You know.
She is the beat.
We keep them around.
Like y'all know, like Lee Jakes. I'm gonna put it out there. Like Lee Jakes, she's going places, like seriously. But she's been on our show like probably episodes hundreds ago.
Yeah. Like, her and Andrea are both with United now, so like it's
they're both working for Orlando United right now. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Exactly,
Good.
for RDS program. Exactly. So
yeah.
And so sorry, but to finish your question, help us figure out where all the Black coaches are and these Black females who are coming up to make sure that they know that there are mentors, there are, development programs, there are opportunities, there are scholarships. We just want to increase representation, and then we'll make sure that our job is to make sure that everyone has everything they need to be successful. That's my role.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing. What's up?
Go ahead. I was gonna say, is it distracting if you had the band cranking at your game as you coaching? Would that be distracting?
So maybe you don't know. I'm a rec soccer coach, and I'm a Black-owned rec soccer coach. So I have big speakers for the games. I'm playing soca music.
I love it.
I'm playing Afro beats the whole time.
Okay.
And I have a mixed league, but everybody's dancing just the same.
Okay.
Different races, different cultures.
It's the culture. You got to get it in there.
It's fun. So I don't mind that.
Okay.
I think it adds to the ambiance. I think it adds to the kids having this passion and love and being able to dance on the ball a little bit. Give it a little vibe.
Hey, look at that. Little sauce. Give them a little sauce.
And then nobody throwing red cards and yellow cards going pop because you up here swag surfing.
It's our goal. It's our goal to get that.
Property value is going down.
Yeah.
Property value is going down instantly.
And it matters.
Oh,
it matters. It matters that you're there to do that.
Don't do that.
And bring your Blackness and bring Black culture. Oh.
But you know what's great about it though? What's great about it though is that the amount of people that I have from outside of the city who are now joining my league, it's beyond race, right? So like I may be the chair of the Black soccer coaches, but my inner city league, like first of all, we train out of the old Reynolds Stadium. So our kids are training out of a state-of-the-art facility. We just built a brand new indoor facility. So now they have state-of-the-art indoor facility, cardio, weights, classrooms, PT.
But why? They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that.
My kids do. All of my kids do. All 1,500 deserve the world. They do well in school. We've had 10 valedictorians. They get it done. And we're going to do this all over the country. We're going to make sure people have opportunities. Tony's already doing this work. Tony does it.
Nicole, I just said because the same thing, like as we build our station soccer locations, it's the same field that Atlanta United plays on. That same stuff. And they're like, why are they getting that same, access to that, those
It's intentional. It's intentional.
How much does it? And it hurts folks because I know it's a free program, and these kids get everything because we have some of the richest kids, we have some of the poorest kids. We know a good amount of the kids are below the poverty line, but when we're talking about equaling the playing field, that's literally what we're doing to the point where I got to change our mission because we're not a disadvantaged soccer league. We're a soccer league where everyone has the opportunity to play, and everybody wants to come in because it's a beautiful melting pot of people from all different statuses, levels, everything, and we come together and we just play this beautiful game and unite. So that's what we're going to do. The game
should be. Exactly what the game should be.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But like of course, anytime that we can have you on and talk about this kind of stuff, of course, you're always more than welcome. I know we have like a small gap in this between seasons. I'm trying to get Stacey to come up here for a game. We're still trying to like that. Of course, Georgia's always been open. Of course, if you can get some time to finally come down, we definitely got to get you in and chop it up. Just want to before we go up to down, I just want to give a quick thank you to everybody who gave us feedback last week with Kev on stage. Hopefully y'all got a massive good laugh out of everything that we talked about, and of course like just talking about Kev's experience, being a soccer dad, hit his own journey into getting to the game and everything. Like honestly, it's probably one of my top 3 all-time favorite episodes. Like it was absolutely just great and hilarious. No matter what Sky and Tony say about my head, it was still good. I don't care. It was still good. But and just a quick programming note. Next week I will actually not be on the episode. I'll be actually I'm heading up to Knoxville for a roundtable with One Knox SC. So filling in for me will be our homies Yogi and me, Mark, and of course, next week is the first week of the MLS season opener coming up. So we'll be previewing the upcoming season. So make sure you stick around for that next week. And also, I believe this week you'll be able to catch me and Scott on the FC Pod. That's LAFC podcast for those of y'all who aren't aware. And make sure that you check it out on your podcast apps. And we got a chance to chop it up with some good bros, supporters at LAFC, and talk about what we do and whatnot. But yeah, make sure you check that out. Make right now the store's cool. Get of course the kids are starting to come out, y'all. So I think we had just 7 today come out. Of course, the home team, they come out on Saturday. So yeah, make sure you get your jerseys ready. Make sure you get your name sets ready at ftcutd.myshopify.com, or you can get all those hoodies that Sky has over there. Like she's got the whole stack from from November to January, just about.
Really.
But yeah, that's a very nice looking shirt. And shout out to Jasmine Spencer.
Nice.
But yeah, let's hop up here in 2 Up and 2 Down.
Can I say something real quick though? Can I say something real quick? I just want to shout all of you guys out. It's the beautiful thing that I see with a lot of the podcasts is that you guys support each other. The solidarity and the unity that I see you guys displaying, the love that I see within the community, it's going to help everything that we're doing. And I'm telling you guys, this time next year, I want all of you, all the Black podcasts, all the Black soccer coaches, all the Black soccer administrators. I want all of us in one place at one time to just celebrate all of our greatness, all of our excellence. I appreciate the work that you guys do, speaking about things from the culture with shea butter on the face, So, I just appreciate you guys so much, all the work that you're doing and the way that you're displaying solidarity with just full a labor of love. So thank you guys and keep that rolling.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
Can it be in a warm weather area?
Huh? It's cold, man.
She wants a warm city. Philly's not that warm. Sorry.
Oh, but just for 3 days, come in for the social, come in for even a day maybe.
She has a closet full of hoodies. She's right.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be worth it. This is something that I've definitely been wanting to do for the past few years. Ever since Tony came back from Baltimore, I was we absolutely have to do this. I tried to do it this year, but I couldn't quite swing it. But yeah, next year, like I said, Philly, that's absolutely that's definitely happening. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our own, Miss Silves over there. She was featured up in PremierLeague.com a couple weeks ago. Talking about the platform and talk about her fandom. Of course, granted, it's Chelsea, but we won't hold that against her. It is what it is. But I just want to make sure that we show love and just say obviously everything that's been happening with Jay Butter always is always an upward with that. So yes, congrats on the article and whatnot.
Thank you.
Yes. So
Herculean.
Actually, let me open this back up real quick because I want to have this is gonna be a collective up first for the Super Bowl halftime show.
The culture.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Wait. Oh, I'm gonna throw something. I'm gonna throw a wrench. Or I'm gonna throw.
I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
I did see the halftime show. I don't support that. You should know I don't support that. You should know I don't support the NFL.
She ain't for the cult. Hey, Grego, she ain't for the cult.
No, that's culture. That's a cultural choice too.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about halftime. That's why we're talking about halftime because halftime was the culture.
I think everybody, most people watch the halftime show.
I YouTubed it.
Yeah, people were watching it on YouTube. My sister
She was like, I'm protesting the NFL.
Yes.
I've been unhappy for a while. I will say this: when the Buffalo Bills make it far, I watch. But I'm just
they almost did it.
They almost did. I
Josh
watched it on a
Josh
plane.
Allen's a beast. He's a beast.
He
He's a
is.
beast.
Jamal.
Watched it on the plane
Joshua
from
Jamal.
Kansas City. But
I mean,
sorry,
look
I
at-
just
look-
hijacked your whole conversation. My bad.
I didn't watch the NFL for like 2 years. Gregor would tell you.
I had
I didn't watch
3.
the
I
NFL
just
for
started
2
watching
years.
it.
Yeah, I'm not
2,
doing
3
it.
years. It was
I watch from a distance.
after,
Okay.
yeah, but then
That's for
lately,
different reasons.
and then when Eminem brought shit back, I was like, oh shit, the white boy done brought me back to reality. I was like, oh shit.
Back to
That's
reality.
what
Oh, there goes.
See what you did there. See what
It's
you
right
did there.
Like, fuck, the white boy had to do it. Oh shit. All right, yes, I'm proud.
But one thing about that real quick, because apparently from what they're saying that the league told him, especially no kneeling. They told Dr. Dre you couldn't have a line about still can't
Still
rock with the
not loving
police.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what, we're doing this anyway. And I'm like, why not? I'm like, the fact
What
that
the
we
fuck
have
did
a
they
hip hop.
What the fuck did they think?
Like, what are they gonna lose by doing it? Like,
Exactly.
they're
I'm like,
fine. They're very rich.
like-
They're very rich.
Dr. Dre
No,
is a literal billionaire. I'm like,
yes.
like he's not going to
He
care.
doesn't have to make songs. He makes headphones. Like,
It just needed to be longer. Like that. I hope this turns into a tour.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be a tour. That's all.
Have you?
That's
that's
just
just
did you-
power.
all
They gotta
so-
shoot.
oh,
They
okay,
gotta shoot
time
when
out,
power
time
is not on.
I went to the Up and Smoke tour here in Atlanta when it was
Wow.
Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop, and all of them. That Up and Smoke tour is the best concert I've ever been to. And there's a reason why they called it Up and Smoke, because I was high off the
Everybody was
contact.
lit. Yep.
And
Well, we
speaking of
think
which,
people being like, "Oh my God, Snoop smoked before he went
Yes,
on stage." I'm like,
that
"I'm
part.
sorry, Snoop."
first of all, it's Snoop. Second of all, it's
Snoop.
California. It's all legal,
It's
baby.
legal.
Like it's
It's
all
legal.
legal.
Even if it
Even
wasn't,
way
though,
before
it's
it was
Snoop.
illegal,
He
they
would
don't
do
care.
that everywhere.
It's
They
Snoop.
don't
Can
care.
we stop body shaming 50 Cent, please? Like,
Oh,
I
wow.
want to put out there, as a man who is
50 double.
40 years old, I'm a 40-year-old man who is dealing with
250.
transitions in my life, and I understand 50.
You
in
get
his
it.
shape.
Yeah.
And
I
I
felt
feel
for him.
like we were body shaming 50, and they were saying like
Little
he's
bit,
a
little
dollar
bit.
bill now.
No,
He's
he
not
can
50
still
cents,
wear
he's a
that.
dollar
He
bill.
just had like this medium on.
Yeah,
I would
I think
not
he was
have-
fine. Just
I would not
a
have
bigger
hung
size. He
upside
was
down.
fine.
Big
Why
shoulder.
they body shaming him? Like I feel
I wasn't body shaming him. What I was though is like, if you gonna hang upside down, somebody had to help him because we all at that age where you can't just do that anymore.
Right, yeah. You
He
I
can
know,
just-
'cause, like
He looked dizzy to me. I
Yeah.
was really concerned.
You
What
can't
did
hang
you?
upside down like
I
that.
thought he had
blood rush.
vertigo. He was having vertigo or something.
Yes.
You can't hang
It's
upside
the
down
blood
like
rush.
that like you used to. Like
I can't
nah,
even
like,
get up out of bed that fast anymore.
I
Like,
had to
the
go
moment-
back and
Exactly.
watch the video again just to remember that part. And I was like, oh, okay. I forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
That's hilarious. But like
Well-
just the overall moment for the country, like the amount of sea walking. I was like, did people realize like how
I
many
see
people are
walk,
watching?
and then I remember why I can't do
I
that
was seeing
anymore.
walking too. My daughter was looking at me like, "What are
Yeah,
you
what
doing,
you-
Daddy?" Like,
Yo,
Daddy,
And my
stop it.
knees,
Like,
and my knees acting
I
up.
was like,
I was like,
"Oh,
what? What's the end of that? Yeah. Yes.
Because
You know
like
what I love though? I love how people from our generation loved it of all races, right? There's
Yeah.
some people complaining, but all races
Yeah.
were just people were saying it was
We
the
grew
best
up with
ever.
it.
I don't know if
Have
it was
you
the
seen
best
that
ever,
video?
but it was good.
Have you seen that video where it's like an all white pub?
We grew up on
restaurant?
this.
And as soon as the halftime show was going on, it was all white. It was like, I guess 40, 50 plus year olds. It was dead silent, like quiet, and nobody was responding or dancing. And like I was like, oh my God, that is my personal hell.
That sounds
Hmm.
horrible.
Watching that halftime show
and
and
not feeling
nobody
anything.
reacting and respond. Like
Yeah.
that was my childhood, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Tony's
Yeah.
splashing back.
Yeah,
a little
but
bit.
We are the target demographic now. Like, it's
Basically.
I
wild.
was in
It's
college
wild.
when this shit was going off. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe somebody sea walk at a Super Bowl. Like, I was just like,
and not just one. I mean,
It'd
like
be okay.
dozens.
Like-
It'd be okay.
And just the fact that so people got to remember, like over 100 million people watched the Super Bowl this past
Mhm.
weekend, and you had literal, gang lifestyle.
yes.
I don't want to say feature, but it was definitely on full display. And it's like
Oh, that was straight crip.
He was
Like,
the only one wearing blue.
I was gonna say, didn't they say he couldn't wear bandana, so he just wore a whole blue suit?
Yeah.
They were like, we're gonna wear black.
Listen,
Stu was like, I'm gonna wear blue.
Like,
I'll be wearing blue.
I mean, like, but he could get away
shirt.
with that. But like, that whole honestly, I would try it. I would try it.
I would wear that off.
He should have brought Martha Stewart out there and had her crib.
He was in the game.
Yo, Martha Stewart will follow through the ends of the world.
As an Atlanta native, and I saw the Bim Joiner with Atlanta influences everything. Like, the thing that pissed me off is that, like, when Atlanta had the Super Bowl a couple years ago, it was right during when we were protesting shit. And it wasn't right, and we missed that opportunity.
Yeah, Maroon
of, like,
5
putting on that type of show. Like, I wish we could have a redo of that. And
I think you will.
Because Jay-Z wasn't in charge yet.
Asking this panel, what is our equivalent of that type of show?
Well, you gotta have Outkast, right?
Outkast.
There's so many options, man.
TLC.
Ideally, it would be T.I., but of course, with his drama right now, he probably wouldn't be invited.
Well, I mean, Dre performed, so
that's true.
That's true. Tip, I think.
Well, and Snoop has a little something going on, but
who's your R&B choice?
Oh, hold up.
Can you put a Skip in there?
Hold on, stop by real quick. Congrats to Snoop for purchasing Death Row Records.
Yeah, he bought Death
Row.
Suge Knight is crying in the jail cell.
Yeah, I know. There's some irony in that.
Sorry, Suge, I ain't say that out loud. I'm sorry.
You trying to flying out here? You gonna get us got.
Outkast, TLC, Usher.
I was gonna say Usher. Yeah.
You probably could get at least CeeLo. Probably get at least CeeLo.
Y'all
might not get the whole goodie mob, but you'll at least get CeeLo.
All right, Real Atlanta, can we stand up? Can I get some Raheem the Dream?
Yeah, let's go.
Can I get some Kilo Ali?
Yeah, Kilo.
Can I get some Oop Camp? Can I get some Oop Camp? All Oop Camp.
I mean, y'all would love that show. I don't know if anybody else.
I'd be like, who are these people? Like,
sorry.
Kilo Ali?
I've heard the name. I know who that is.
The Real Atlanta knows.
Oh, you know that? No, you know that song. Everybody got that song on that playlist. It's like everybody got that one song.
Baby.
Kilo Ali. I ain't gonna say it, but you know what I'm saying, because I don't know who's listening. You know, YouTube might.
Well, it'd be like having it in Miami, and like, can you have Uncle Luke?
Yes,
you would have to.
They could have him.
You would have to.
You can have him.
But what version
have the
can
girls.
you play?
You gotta let Uncle Luke play. You gotta let Uncle.
You can have him. Also, you probably couldn't have the girls, but you can have him.
Are you sure?
I think they would try their best.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh man!
As a little kid, that was my favorite album cover.
Oh yeah,
that was my favorite album covers. I
had no business listening.
Because I remember I had an older brother. He was 7 years older. He had an album cover. I was looking at that shit like, damn.
Oh yeah, that was life. That was life back then.
Yeah.
There's edited versions of all the Miami Bass. You can do it.
Oh God.
If you gonna have Mr. 305.
I just want Atlanta to have a second chance at this.
Yeah, they should.
We will.
You will with that big shiny stadium.
No.
You will.
LA was gonna be super black because the league's trying to fight a suit. That's how you had a black ref running. You had all the blackness. I was like, they got all the black people to be like, we got diversity. When they
all the black people and one human. But yes. Let's
oh my God.
Yeah, see how I brought it all back. We're
all human, guys. We're all human.
But I'm gonna just give y'all one quick up. For me, I don't really have any downs right now. Bel Air, it just premiered on Sunday. They have like 3 episodes up. Make sure you watch all of them. I'm 2 down. I got 1 to go. I'm probably gonna watch after I finish up recording here tonight.
Same.
But yes, you need to check that out. It's the foundation's the same, but it's essentially a totally different show, and like just how they spin it is absolutely incredible. I'm like, it's beyond dope. So make sure you do that. Again, I think that Oh, one of the things I keep forgetting it from past few weeks. Congrats to Shannon Box
Oh yeah.
for getting to the U.S. Soccer Hall of
Absolutely.
Fame. I think Yogi had an episode on Shannon Box a few weeks ago on Can I Kick It?
Love
So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you do that. Yeah, she's like one of the all-time
underrated, still
legends.
underrated. Like just best 6 we've had. Yeah.
And then also the homie Clint Dempsey was elected, and then I said I don't know how y'all feel. Hope, but I know she finally
She's
got
still
in.
one of the best. You got to respect
She's
her
the
play.
best goalkeeper we've
Still gotta
had.
respect
My
her
personal
play.
feelings
Yeah.
don't matter. It's the Hall of Fame. My personal feelings don't matter, and I have them. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. But she's the best at her position. I'm not gonna.
Facts.
But yeah, it's really all I got. Like I said, it's been a good week for the culture. So let's slide it on over here to Sky Jesus.
Oh no, why is that her name?
Here we go. So let me see my 2 downs. The disrespect of Matthew Thomas Ryan after this freaking end of the NFL season. We gonna stop this foolishness. Y'all gonna put respect on his name. He was up there throwing to 2 people and people off the street. It's gonna be okay. The other down would be like this cold winter. I got my sweatshirt on. That was just supposed to be for decoration. It's time to be warm. It's time to be back into the 80s. You know, I'm not built for no cold weather.
It was burning hot out there this weekend, wasn't it? It was hot as all.
It was like 90 degrees. I was in the house though in my AC, but that's the blessings.
But are you doing a parade tomorrow?
That's another down. That's a down because I gotta go pick her up from the airport because.
Love you, mean it.
Nah, you can. Or if it's bad, you're gonna be in the Uber. Love you, mean it. But anyway, I guess okay. So yeah, it's nice to see the Rams came through with like no kind of receivers at the end. Got that ring. Good for you.
Excuse you, Yakima's finest was out there. Don't do that.
See you out here, Cooper Cup. See you out here,
Yakima's finest. Yes.
Out here representing Detroit. The Detroit Rams won. And then I guess what's my other up? Oh yeah, I got some new shoes. So
new shoes.
They look fire.
New shoes.
Oh yeah, and my FTC collection of stuff. Appreciate you.
No problem. Wise man, what you got?
You do like wise man.
Keep talking. Say sports shit. I know you got some smart shit to say, right?
That's why you frozen.
Yeah, I was like, it's not me this time.
No, I wasn't frozen. I didn't move.
No, the video over here is moving, but yeah, I can still hear you. So what you got?
All right. So my up that I want to highlight is I don't know how many people listen to our show and watch our show or anything like that, but I am a Howard alumni, Bison, proud. I will let it be known all the time. I don't know if y'all know that. Do y'all know that?
I've heard it on occasion.
Occasionally.
You've heard it on occasion.
Repetitively.
Okay. So I just had to remind people of that. But anyway, my coach, while I was at Howard, Mr. Keith Tucker, has been inducted into the Virginia DC Soccer Hall of Fame.
Oh yes.
And
come on now.
Right.
I had to give him his flowers because he is still alive.
Yes.
And so that's the key thing. We have to highlight.
Oh, you just saved me if I didn't mention that.
We have to highlight those who are still alive and still around that have done, ample amount of the work that we're trying to do now. He was doing without social media. And so Keith Tucker, he was my coach at Howard when I was there as a player, which is funny because he was the main one who wasn't trusting me. His assistant, Curtis Landy, who passed away a few years ago, Landy trusted me, but he convinced Keith Tucker to put some faith in me. But Keith Tucker, I definitely grew into finding respect and knowledge of the game. And it's funny that when I went to knowing Keith Tucker as a coach, it was very superficial. I was like a young Padme, or I've been watching a lot of Star Wars lately. Like, I was a young Jedi that didn't know what the hell I was looking at. But Q Tucker's vision of the game for the black culture, it permeates beyond the DMV area. For many of y'all who don't know, Q Tucker has been with Howard Soccer for decades. And he was there during the times when Howard Soccer won a national championship as a player. And then to go on as a coach and to try to make a not just a culture within the black community at Howard with soccer. And the fact that he's getting recognized finally, I pay him respect and many flowers. And so that is my up, and that is all I am saying. Much respect to Keith Tucker. Lay dude.
What a tribute.
Thank you.
Yes.
What a tribute.
Beautiful.
And this is a guy who, and I just have to say it too, because he was one of the guys who was a founding member of the Black Soccer Coaches Group. So we're talking about a global and international influence on making sure that people have an opportunity from the jump. And his humble, he doesn't talk about all the people that he's influenced, but if you talk to
he is quite
Shaka, ask Shaka Hislop about Keith Tucker. Ask him.
All right.
He'll never stop talking about that guy. So
awesome.
Keith, he is so Bermudian. Like he is so Bermudian. You will know as soon as you meet him. But flowers to Coach Tucker. Love you, dude. Proud of what he has accomplished. And this is only a microcosm of what he deserves. So,
absolutely.
All right.
Miss Hercules.
I'm up. Startled me. Yeah, I think my up is seeing how unified the Black soccer community is, from the podcast, how you guys come together, from our coaches, how we come together, from Black administrators and Black business owners who are in the soccer landscape. And I think a bigger up is that I think that all of these things are going to interconnect and come together in a way that's going to make the Black soccer landscape so powerful and so influential in this game. That is the up, because I just see folks who are just doing this work across this country, trying to grow this game for people who look like us. So it doesn't get, it's up and away for what we can do for the culture. So thank you guys for having me on. Appreciate it. Always love when I get to see my brothers and my two new little sisters here. So it's always good to chill with the fam, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Cool. Sales, the superstar. Close us out. What you got?
Superstar. You and my mama believe that. That's lovely. Are we doing both? 2 up, 2 down, or?
Hey, whatever you got.
I'll knock the downs out of the way. One, everything that's happening in Portland. And apparently I just saw your man tried to, he messaged Sebastian Salazar because he said the truth last week, and Sebi told him come on the show then, pretty much, to paraphrase. So that, and I don't like the kit, so that just
we got the MLS version of the granny kit, we do,
yeah.
So we
it's the Louisville kit, but yeah.
For those of y'all who are, of course, from with 2 Cents, we have a yearly episode called Kit Ratings. I'll be hosting that in the next couple of weeks, so trust me, we're gonna have a lot to say about that Portland kit. We have about that one. The pink who that ain't quite pink with Inter Miami, and of course the new one with the home team. Trust me, just be on the lookout for that episode in a couple of weeks. But continue.
And then we've had, conversations about our lovely federation, sort of at the youth level. But y'all could have kept every one of those letters. What nonsense! What nonsense! And you're either grossly incompetent, Mr. Cordero, or you're a liar, and neither one makes you worth voting for. Again,
or you're the current president, and you're like, oh, you just sat through all that, huh?
Nobody knew, huh? Nobody knew. Okay. Yeah, and who you called a liar at that? I don't appreciate that. So yeah, I imagine. I wish we had other options, but those are the two. But it seems like the players are in our place now, where they have more power than they ever have, and they can hopefully start to put their weight, behind that. And I know they got a plan. So we'll see. But we have a CBA in the league now, so yay for that. There's more work to be done, but at least there's a baseline for players to have protection and get paid and have housing and maternity or parental leave or whatever they need. So sorry, 2 ups. 1, shout out Aaron Jackson.
Yes,
taking over speed skating. We coming for all your sports.
How about the fact that how long she's been in the game? 5 months. So 5
She started
years
skating in 2016.
And took all the medals. And
she won gold. And then shout out to Alana Myers. Oh man, I forgot it. Silver medalist. I'm a little salty she didn't get the gold. Because
she's got plenty. She's got a lot.
But she did, and she did it coming out of isolation. She didn't get to train. She didn't get to be with her baby. Like,
a boss.
She was a boss. Like, at 37, like, respect. Just so much respect for her. So big up to that. Obviously, we rooting for everyone. We root for everybody black. It's mine. Issa Rae says.
Okay.
And then my other up is this time tomorrow I will be in Los Angeles. So U.S. Soccer that I've just talked mad shit about gave us credentials. So we're gonna be out here at these 2 national team games. So yeah, hopefully we'll get to see a few things like Trinity Rodman's first cap and Mitch first on the front line, things that we don't get to see all the time. So
I know, right?
We're very excited to be able to see that from the high up seats. And we'll come with some more critiques.
This is an exciting roster. I'm amped for this game.
I am. I think we'll find hopefully if they do what they're supposed to do, we'll find a good balance. But there's a lot of young talent, and as we have said repeatedly on the show, a lot of it's black. So, my ultimate motto is: do you want to win or do you want to be white? Because you got to make a choice.
Wow.
So, 2023, you got to make a choice. So,
yeah,
that's where the talent is. So,
we gonna be out there. You ain't gonna be trying our life. Well, running from the kangaroos and stuff. We gonna be out here.
Right. I'm like, ooh, Australia. We had to do Australia, New Zealand. Huh?
All right. Can I hire you for our DEI program?
Listen, we about to be in demand, so yesterday's price ain't gonna be tomorrow's price. Give me while you can.
Oh, yeah. What's good?
But yes, I actually would not mind. We need to. It's necessary, and I know you all are doing the work with the coaches and things like that. But
yeah,
PA needs it. College needs it. They all need it.
We got things on the way. We got things.
She about to have a team. About to have a team of their own.
We out here working. We got
a team. We got a little team. Just a little bit team.
Black women always get it done, so we're out here.
But yes, again, thanks to Nicole for coming on this week.
Because it's too late on that side.
Oh my god.
Whenever you are on social media, where can people find you?
I'm the worst with social media, but I'm so accessible on Nicole M. Hercules. I'm not on social media like that. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm easy to find, but hopefully I post more.
Hey, when she finds you, she's a good fan.
Yes,
that's true. I'll support the hell out of you. That's what I do. I'll support the hell out of you.
That's a fact.
That's pretty much all I use it for, just to make sure I'm supporting.
Definitely. As always, you can find us on social at the FTC.
UTD.
Okay.
Now I know. I didn't know that.
No, you was
You
eight,
got
man.
it.
You was eight,
That,
Tony.
that was about this close to quite right.
You
I
was
was like,
off beat. You was off beat.
Getting
Off
closer.
beat.
I record that shit. Did we record
Yes.
that?
Just keep it for every week. Yes.
oh
We
man.
can keep that shit.
That was good.
Drop that
Facebook,
shit. Drop that
Twitter, Instagram, FTC UTD Pod. On TikTok, we actually did. Actually, no, I posted the roast on TikTok. So yeah, like I am secure within myself and my head.
A hairline like mine.
You know. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check out this week's Shea Butter with our homies Black Fires. Yo, our guys came through. The internet was working right, and it's some good shit. So yes, make sure you check it out. But yeah, like of course you can find Shea Butter at SBFC_podcast. You can find our fam at 2 Cents FC at 2 Cents FC, and also Can I Kick It at CIKIFC on Twitter and Can I Kick It FC on Instagram. But yes, next week.
SheaButterFC.com.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Y'all finally fixed the address.
that.
So yeah, that's
Why you
yeah.
doing that? Why you doing that?
Hey,
Don't do
hey.
I got a request.
What's up?
This is personal. Hey people, in a month I'm going to Turkey. I need all my Turkish homies. Anybody knows anything about Turkey, anything that they want me to know or find out, please send it to me. I'm going to Turkey. I might be going to Besiktas, a game or anything like that. Send it to me.
Did you get your card yet?
Bro, let me so Paso. It's called Paso. I'm not even lying. It's the app. It's called Paso.
Paso, and he'll let you go.
They literally just sent me an alert that like, okay, now you can buy a ticket to the game.
Wow. The process is thorough.
No, it ain't no joke. But seriously, I'm going to Istanbul in a month. By all means, I'm trying to soccer coach there. Let me know what y'all want, need, everything like that. If you got any questions and everything like that, let me know.
Cool, definitely. And we should have some good content from the coach while he's out there. But yeah, we'll be counting down to that.
Nice.
Again, next week we got our MLS season preview. I'll be gone, but of course, Yogi and me and Mark will be filling in. They'll be having the good stuff, and should have some guests next week as well. But until then, for Coach, for Sills, for Sky, for Nicole, for L, for Ty, for Yogi, for Mayor, for TK, for everyone here on the team, the coach is real, coaches everywhere. Get ready, y'all. Season's coming up next week. We'll see y'all soon, and we out.
FTC UTD.